What do you think the end game is with the intelligence?
There are some studies that say that AI can be more creative in the sense of having more creative ideas, but the diversity of ideas is less. We think about moving towards the idea of superintelligence. Creativity is a part of that.
Hey! Ruff Ruffman here, host of Fetch, the best game show of all time. There's no debate. But also the creator of the worst TikTok dance of all time. Can you do this Ruff Ruffman dance? Bunny, hop, hop, cow goes moo. Cow goes meh. But now I'm Ruff Ruffman content creator, and today I'm talking with Amanda Bickerstaff, founder and CEO of AI for Education. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Well, yeah, talking to me, that's not too shabby, huh?
It's pretty great.
So, you work in AI literacy. This is excellent. Please explain what that is.
So AI is a huge part of our lives, even though we haven't thought a lot about it. It has changed the ways in which we can create. It changes the way we communicate, the way we can learn. Even work is going to change. And so for us, AI literacy is those foundational skills, the knowledge, but also mindsets. You think like habits of mind that allow you to use AI in 3 ways: safely, ethically, and effectively.
So what are the biggest misconceptions that people have about AI?
Before ChatGPT, there was no technology that really could write in an approximation of how humans write. And so what's happened is that uniquely human skills are now able to be done by generative AI. But a lot of times what we don't realize is that the outputs that generative AI create are going to have incredible deficits. They're not going to be our voice without our review. They can make mistakes. These are called hallucinations. They can be biased. It's more like approximating writing. So there's that component of human evaluation and judgment that is so key. And I think that when you hear like someone saying AI is for cheating or it's only bad, is when people are using AI in a way where it does replace their thinking, even when their thinking is integral. On the other end, AI literacy is a top #1 skill on LinkedIn right now. And so like if you have these skills and you know how to use them in meaningful ways that don't replace your thinking, man, it's going to make a huge difference. There's going to be an expectation very quickly, especially in careers, that you're able to understand how to use AI in meaningful ways for your work.
How are we all expected to keep up with this technology? It changes so fast, and I know that's part of what you do, but oh my goodness.
Well, I think the first thing I would say is don't try to be an expert. When we try to be an expert in something like this, you get kind of caught up in the wrong things. And like the idea that you have to know every new model or every new feature is something that could cause a lot of stress. And so what we suggest is just focus on building your capacity. So like picking 1 or 2 things that you enjoy, that you want to learn about, and doing those really well.
Do you think all jobs in the future are going to use AI or just certain types of jobs?
I think that this is a really important question. There will be new jobs created with AI, but there are also going to be jobs that are highly augmented and others that are replaced. I would say that if you're really interested in jobs of the future, things that really require like human judgment, like being a doctor is going to change because doctors spend most of their time in a session with their back to you typing. But instead of doing that, what I can use now is a note taker where I turn around and I'm engaged with you and I have to ask better questions. I have to have a better bedside manner. I need to know you as a human, which is what actually matters for things like proactive health, right? Preventative health. It's about knowing the person and creating a relationship.
Is there a overall arcing acknowledgement of a certain ethics involved with the software?
This is something that is going to be really important because this is where things like climate impact of these new data centers are in spaces and places in which water systems are already often damaged, or they're in lower income areas. They are using electricity in a way that is really unprecedented. They are using intellectual property and copyrighted material. I will say that some systems that are being developed have more of a commitment to ethics than others. So making those informed choices are going to be really important moving forward.
So generative AI, is it itself creative, like a human or a dog, or will it be that in the future? Like, what do you think the end game is with the intelligence?
There are some studies that say that AI can be more creative in the sense of having more creative ideas, but the diversity of ideas is less. We think about moving towards the idea of superintelligence. Creativity is a part of that. When these systems can create, is going to be one of the stepping stones to superintelligence. I would say today what generative AI does is it approximates or mimics creativity. But if you're creative, plus the like randomness, variability, weirdness of generative AI, you can do some really crazy things.
All right. Is there a danger in relying too much on AI? Like with GPS, I don't think I'd know how to get anywhere if I don't put it into GPS.
Because generative AI is so good at so much that there's a risk of like not using or building those skills that are important for the future. And so let's say that if I just stop writing or I'm not going to read anymore, I'm just going to use an AI overview or an AI podcast instead. This is one of those times where if you don't use it, you lose it. If we over-rely too much on technology of any type, it means that our cognitive work and our cognitive understanding is going to decline. And so that just is how our brains work, right?
Right. Well, Amanda Bickerstaff, thank you so much for being on the program. I've learned so much today, and I hope to learn more.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed getting to hang out, and it's been a lot of fun.
A big thanks to Amanda for talking to us about AI. But now I gotta go. Doing a charity run tomorrow. No biggie, just a half marathon. Figure that's only a piece of cake. It's just 13.1 miles. Maybe I can drive my car part of the way? Have to check on that. Bye.